Hi, 5th grade students, and welcome to this week's video lesson. Today we are going to be learning about the C major scale. We're going to be learning how to spell the scale notes and also how to play it. This video was made for the violin and the viola students. So we will be playing the violin and viola fingerings in this video. All right, let's get started. So what do you already know about a scale? Well, you should know that a scale is an octave of notes going up and down in order. Do you remember how many notes are in an octave? If you think about how the word octave starts with O-C-T, probably you can remember that it is 8 notes. Just like an octagon has 8 sides and an octopus has 8 legs, an octave of notes is 8 notes. So a scale is 8 notes played up and down in order. Also, you should know that we name the scale based on the first note of the scale. So, for instance, a D major scale starts and ends on D. A G major scale starts and ends on G. So, what do you think a C major scale starts on? I'm sure you probably guessed C. So the C major scale starts and ends on the note C. Now, another fact that you need to know in order to play the C major scale is that the C major scale doesn't have any sharps or flats. Now, if you think back on the D major scale, how many notes are sharp in the D major scale? 2, right? F sharp and C sharp. And with the G major scale, there's 1 sharp, just F sharp. Well, with the C major scale, there are no sharps. So all of the notes are natural. So when we spell the scale, we don't say sharp for any of the notes. Let's try it. So we already talked about what the first note is, C. And also the top note of the scale is C. Okay? Now in the musical alphabet, the note that comes after C is D. Then E. Next is F. Not F sharp, right? We don't have any sharps in the scale. And after F comes G. Now, after you play G in the musical alphabet, you recycle back to the beginning of the alphabet. So it's A, B, and then top note is C. So let's try spelling it together, okay? 1, 2, ready, let's spell it. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Good work. No sharps. I know sometimes it's tempting to say F sharp and C sharp because we're so used to those notes being sharp in the D major scale. But in this scale, none. Now, let's learn how to play the C major scale. You'll see over here, I drew 3 strings, the G, D, and A strings. And one thing that's neat about the C scale, compared to the D scale and the G scale, which we already learned, is that the C scale is actually played over 3 strings rather than just 2. And actually, the C major scale does not start on an open note like the D major scale and the G major scale. So let me draw in the finger stripes. You've got the first finger stripe, the second finger stripe, third finger, and fourth finger. Do you notice how the stripes are far apart in some spots and close together in others? When you have this far apart spacing, we call this a whole step. A whole step distance, your fingers are held far apart. And then, do you know what it's called when the fingers are close together, like the second and third finger stripes here? We call it a half step. Okay, back to the scale. So, our first note is C, and the way you play C on the G string for violin and viola is on the third finger stripe. So that's right, you are going to be playing third finger on G string in order to make the first note C. Well, the next note of the scale is D. And of course, you could play open D string. That's totally possible. However, because you're fifth graders now and we've become more advanced this year and we're using our fourth fingers, I'd like for you to try playing D as four fingers on the G string. Okay? So that brings us to the next note, E. And we all know that E is one finger on D. This is one of the first notes we ever learned on our instruments. Remember those pointer push-ups back from the olden days? Yep, first finger note. Next is F. Now, F is a new note that we really haven't played yet on the violin or the viola, okay? So you know already that F sharp would be here on the second finger stripe, right? But this is F sharp. It's not the same thing as F. When you play F, you tuck your second finger really close to your first finger like this to play the note F. And violinists and violists, we refer to this note as low 2, because when you place your second finger there, it sounds lower than when you place your second finger there. Let me show you. So for instance, on the violin and the viola, if you have two fingers down on your usual placement where the stripe is, it sounds like F sharp, like this. So that is F sharp. Now watch how I scoot my finger so that my second finger is right next to my first finger, okay? I didn't move my first finger, I just scooted my second finger back. Now this is F. So I'll play the notes again, see if you can hear that the F is lower. So here's F sharp and F. The F is not lower by a lot, it's only lower by a half step, a close distance. Okay, so this is where you'll play your second finger for F. Next is G. Now, when you play G, you place your third finger on the usual third finger stripe. Next is A. A is going to be 4 fingers down on the D string. B, you know this note. First finger on the A string. And then finally, for the top C, it's the same concept as the F, where we play low second finger. You will not place your second finger on the C sharp stripe at all during the scale. You see? You always place your second finger in the low position. Okay? So let's give this a try, and we'll try it my turn, your turn first, before we play the scale all the way through, just to kind of give you a chance to think through it, okay? So here we are. The first note is C, third finger on the G string. So set your third finger on G, and let's play it. My turn, your turn. My turn, C. My turn, D. Your turn. My turn, E. Your turn. My turn, low F, not F sharp. Your turn. My turn, stretching up to G. Your turn. My turn, A. Fourth finger. Your turn. My turn, B. Your turn. My turn, low C. Your turn. Now back down, B. Your turn. My turn, A. Your turn. My turn, G. Your turn. My turn, tuck your F back, low to F. Your turn. My turn, E. Your turn. My turn, D. Your turn. My turn, C. Last note. Your turn. Nice. So students, did you remember to place your second finger low for the scale? Your C major scale should actually sound very similar to the D and the G scales. It's the same pattern of notes, but just starting on a different pitch. So that's the way the scales work. Let's try playing the scale instead of playing my turn, your turn. Let's try playing it together all the way through. And let's keep that same rhythm. So 2 long, smooth bows per note, okay? So let's get set. Check your posture, check your position, and set your third finger down on the G string. That note's called C. Ready? 1, 2, let's play the scale together. Now D and E, low F. Now G, stretch it up. And A, B, low C, back down. G, low F, Great work, students. Let's do it one more time just to get some practice on it. So do you still have your finger down, third finger for C on the G string? Let's start again. 1, 2, C major scale. Low F. Low C, back down. Great work learning a new scale today, students. I would just like to remind you that the assignment for this week is to play the C major scale on 2 long, smooth bow strokes. I would repeat this video a few times and practice along until you get a handle on it, and then also practice it on your own. I also want to let you know that a great resource for learning the scale and practicing the scale is on the Google Classroom under Sheet Music and Handouts. It's the scale packet. I actually handed the scale packet out to you at the beginning of the school year, but you may have recycled it by now, or it may have been misplaced. So I encourage you to download the scale packet so that you will have this picture to look at while you're practicing, okay? Well, that concludes our video lesson for this week, students. I'm really impressed how you learned a new scale today. I hope you keep up your practice, and I hope you're having fun. We'll see you next time.